Hello everyone, welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial here on my channel, but today, instead of Java, we're doing Bedrock Minecraft tutorial. And let's start off with an easy one. How about an iron farm? I need an iron farm. Do you need an iron farm? I need one on truly Bedrock really bad, so let's build one. Alright, before we get started on the build, let's talk about the blocks we're going to need. You will not need a pig, so I don't know why we have a pig here, but you will need some building blocks. And you can differentiate between regular blocks and slabs depending on how you want to build. You'll see what I mean here in just a minute as we're building, but you'll need about somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 stacks of building blocks. A half stack of glass, let's say 2 stacks of leaves or thereabouts is a good place to start. A couple of stairs, not very many of those. You'll need 56 signs, a couple of chests at the very minimum, 9 hoppers, 9 unpowered powered rails, 9 hopper carts. You'll need 4 pails of water, 21 beds, 1 bell, 9 magma blocks, and somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 21 villagers depending on how you want to set it up. 10 is a bare minimum. 21 I think is more beneficial, but we'll talk about that as we're building. And now that we have all the blocks kind of outlined for you, let's go ahead and get up into the sky and start construction. All right, let's start in the middle with a 3x3 set of blocks, and then you're going to come off the center and come out 9 blocks and then up 1. Take that block out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up 1 and then take that one out. And then you're going to go to the other 2 sides and go ahead and do the same thing. Out 9 blocks, up 1, and then destroy the one underneath it. Once you have those spokes done, come into the center, and we're going to surround that 3x3 center with more blocks and create a 5x5 with that 9 blocks 3x3 in the center opening. Go ahead and destroy those ones in the middle. Now come out to the spokes, and let's go ahead and connect these lower blocks and these upper blocks together, and then come back into the quadrant, and you can backfill these with slabs or with full blocks. It's totally up to you. Once you have that done, go ahead and start connecting the other sides together as well, and you'll end up with a 21x21 platform. Then come back with your slabs or your full blocks and go ahead and fill in the other quadrants until you have a solid platform. Next, we need to create the upper platform. So go ahead and come back into the center, add a block, so you're back in the middle, and then up 4 blocks, add an extra block up on top. Come in 1 block, create that space, and then create a frame that goes around just like the one below it. That's a 5x5 of solid blocks. Now this upper one's kind of a circular shape, so you're going to want to come out 5 blocks from the center of each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go ahead and do that on the other 2 sides. And once you have that in place, you're going to come out 4 from each spoke. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then backfill it like you're making a circle. So it's just kind of a stair-stepping pattern like this. 1, 1, 1. And come over to this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Just like that. Pretty straightforward. Now go ahead and complete the other 2 sides until you have the circular shape. Then you're going to come back and go ahead and backfill that with slabs or solid blocks. It's totally up to you again. Now that the platforms are done, we need to create the edges that are going to hold the signs. So you're going to come out 3 from there, up 1, destroy these. Then go ahead and 3 from each side on the center until you have 7 blocks total. Now put the leaves up on top there like that. Out 1, 2, 3, destroy them, and then 3 blocks on this side, 3 blocks on that side, and then leaves all the way around. Do this on all 4 sides. And for the last part of the build, we need to build the corners here. So you're going to come up 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Create a little bit of a pyramid, and then put leaves on top of each of those. Oops. Break that out, and then put a block in the corner like that. Go ahead and do that on all 4 corners. And then once we do that, we're going to come back and backfill with leaves on top of all these blocks to make sure that they're not spawnable and that nothing can get out of the bottom basin. Next, we need to build this temporary platform where we're going to be placing all of the beds. You're going to come out 3 blocks from either side, create spokes again, and then fill that all in until you have a 7x7 platform that hangs out 1 block over the 5x5 that you have down below. Go ahead and fill all these guys in like this. And now we're going to start placing our beds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there, and then 3 in the middle. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 1, 2, 3 again until you have 20 beds. Now we're going to break down all these blocks that are underneath the beds, and they're going to be floating there in the air. So don't worry about it. Break all these out. We just need to get all of them. Just be careful not to break out your beds. All right, now that we have the structure done, we need to finish out the last platform for the bed and then build the villager area up here. So let's go ahead and put in the platform for the bed. Go ahead and break these blocks out. You won't need them anymore. And then let's get up here on top. If I can get through here, yep, there we go. Place your bed there. That'll be our 21st bed, a bell on there, and then you can break the blocks out below the bed. Just like the other ones, you won't need those anymore. And then we can start filling this guy in. You can use glass or any block you really want to, just like glass. Make sure and put glass above the bed because there will be villagers sleeping and standing up in that block. So leave that there, and then put, I like putting glowstone here just so this is all lit up pretty well. I'm uncertain about whether or not you can put glowstone above the bell and have it count. So just to be safe, I put glass. And then fill in your 4 corners with more glass or blocks, totally up to you. And then the top of it, we want to make sure is a non-spawnable block. So in this case, we're using leaves like we did on the other ones. And now you have your little opening and you have your little area prepared for your villagers. You can just bring them from whatever villager breeder you have and start dumping them down in there. You want to put at least 21 down in there for the 21 beds. You probably could get away with 10. I'm not 100% certain on the mechanics, but I think just to be safe, I like putting 21 in there just to count for all of the beds. And now we need to start dealing with the water streams. All right, now you got to get yourself some signs. You're going to need quite a bit. In fact, you're going to need 56 signs for this upper platform. And so you're going to just start placing signs on all of these blocks. And now you're going to place a sign on each one of those signs as well so that it's coming out 2 signs deep. And the idea why we're doing this is we're holding the water back from going down this too wide gap. And so all of the iron golems will have space to fall down. All right, now that we have that done, you're ready to start placing your water. And you're going to need 4 buckets of water because you won't be able to use an infinite stream like you can in some other locations like down here, and you'll need to place 1 on each one of these corner blocks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And watch it fill in all the areas here, and you're good to go. So now that that water's done, you can go ahead and go down to the lower level and go ahead and place your 4 blocks on these 4 corners as well. And here you're going to have to fill in with infinite water sources. Oop, got a couple of those extra. Drop that there. And part of the reason I did this shape right here is so it's really clear about where you need to place the water, because you need to place the water basically below each one of these leaf blocks on the lower level. Don't do any of these, and make sure you leave a gap between the upper block and the first one you place. And then you can just, every other block, you can come through here and fill these sides in. Just do this all the way around. Just for a useful piece of information too, if you place a block here, place a water block there, and place one there, it creates an infinite stream in between. So you really only need 1 bucket to do this, because then you can take a bucket from there and place it there and just do the same thing all the way down every other block. And when you're done, it should look like this. You should have water flowing right into this middle area, and you'll be good to go. All right, now we need to get working on the killing chamber for the golems and the cats. And you are going to have a lot of cats coming down here, so it's pretty important that we build this well to make sure that we kill those cats and the golems both. So the first thing we want to do is build down 5 blocks total, or down 4 blocks from here, so it's 5 blocks total tall. And then depending on what kind of sorting system you have, this is just sort of a simplified version. You want to make sure you want to put a chest there and a couple of stairs above it upside down so that you can open that. And then there's a couple of different ways you can do this. This is the more expensive version. The cheapest version you can do is you can put 1 hopper in that corner and then orient water stream so it goes down to that corner, and then when all the golems and things fall down and kill it, then it'll just kind of push all the stuff into one corner. But we're going to do this so it's a little bit more efficient and so a little bit more reliable as well. It's a little more expensive, but that's okay. The one thing you need to do is determine your orientation of your rails. And I recommend doing this on the ground, especially if you're building up in the air. But the idea is that the game basically automatically orients your rails for you depending. And I think it's typically north-south, but unless you know which way north and south is, this is the easiest way to do it. You can just lay down your rails and it'll do that. And if you do it on that side, it's pointed that direction as an example. So you might start building this way going, oh, I think this is where I need to put my blocks is on these ends. And then you'll lay down another one like that and it reorients it. So it's going to automatically do that for you. So the easiest thing to do is just lay down all your rails on all 9 blocks like that and just see what direction they are, and then make sure you build to the walls at the ends of the rails. And now we're going to want to close this in with blocks just to make sure it looks nice and neat, like that. And then we're going to do glass on one side. And this is actually a really simple system. It can be a little expensive because of the hoppers for the most part, and because then you're also going to need hopper mine carts. We'll replace those. And the easiest way to place these is to place one on either end and then one in the middle. Sometimes if you place it like that, it'll start doing something funky. It might move it over. It might start going back and forth. So the easiest thing is just to place them on the ends and then one in the middle. Close this back in with glass like that. And then there are some systems where you can push the blocks down into the carts and you want to bust out the rails below that before you do that. But this is just the simpler version, so you're not trying to mess with anything. You can just place the blocks above it with a rail on it, and then the cart, and then the block above it. It will pull items down through like that, and it will work just fine. And then you want to go ahead and finish closing this in with glass. And there's two different ways you can actually do this. You can, if you want to, place water blocks in here. And what that'll do is, if you place them in the three corners, it'll create blocks on top of each of the magma blocks, and it will pull mobs down into it. But what I found is this is unreliable for kittens, oddly enough, and sometimes for cats. They'll just sit there for a while until something makes their AI move, and then they'll start dying, or the kittens actually have to grow up, is what I found, oddly enough, before that works. So what I started doing is just eliminating the water, and it actually works just fine if you just don't put anything in. The cats will fall down. Occasionally one will fall down and just stay still for a second. The AI won't move, but then when another cat falls in, or a golem, it moves it slightly, and then it'll start dying. So it is possible you will have some small collection of cats in here for a short while before they die, but for the most part this actually works really well and is very straightforward. And really that's it. The golems do take a little while to die on the magma blocks, but they get so few of them that it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't really change anything. So that's it. There is your storage and killing chamber built and ready to go. Now we need to go up and get some villagers. All right, so just to make it easy here, since I don't have the villagers, let's go ahead and get some villager eggs. And hopefully in your world you have a different way to get plenty of villagers. And I have seen a couple of farms and a couple of people recommend that you only need 10. And I believe you do absolutely need 4 to start it spawning golems and cats. 10 seems to work better. But I do know that on Java that for every 10 that you get, you have the opportunity to spawn an additional column. And with 21 beds, I'm kind of erring on the side of caution until I'm able to confirm this for sure through an AI standpoint. Oh, why did that make a baby villager? Well, he'll work just fine. But anyway, let's go ahead and put in 21. So let's go. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're already hearing cats spawn down below, so that's good. You can close this thing in. Use a non-spawnable block as a recommendation. You can kind of use whatever you want. If something does spawn in here, it might sit here for a while, particularly a zombie trying to get to the villagers, but eventually they're going to fall off and be killed in the system anyway. So it's not a huge deal, but I definitely recommend using a non-spawnable block. And there we have our villagers in. We have our killing chamber set. We heard a cat down here. Oh, there's another one. Kitten just came down. Sorry, buddy. That makes me feel a little bit sad. But there we go. We got string coming in. There's that magma block I threw a little bit earlier. And there you go. Your killing chamber is ready to go. You now have a fully functional iron golem farm. And we'll sit here and wait for a little bit until we can see an iron golem spawn. Well, there you go. I hope this works really well for you guys. I know it's working pretty well for me on my world. And leave a comment down below. Let me know how it is working for you. And maybe even a subscription if you want a little thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And we will see you guys either in the next episode of Truly Bedrock if you want to come watch me on that Let's Play, or in the next tutorial. Thank you all very much for watching. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.